This episode of the Smoke Pit brought to you by the Nut Ruck by Arbor Arms.
Tactical fanny pack.
You like running with that fanny pack?
I do actually like running with the fanny pack.
Yeah, what do you carry in that fanny pack?
I usually carry my phone and a little switchblade.
Oh, nice. You running through dangerous areas?
I run on the highway, and a lot of
What are you going to do, stab cars?
No, I feel just like...
Just slashing tires
scary
as they're
loners.
running by you?
Scary loners walk on the highway. I've seen like 5.
Yeah, and they're probably thinking the same as you. Look at this girl just running around with a switchblade on the highway.
They can't see it. It's in the tactical fanny pack. It's concealed.
ArborArms.com. So, folks, we have a great episode for you today. We had a call-in from our friend Geraint Jones, so it is a Zoom audio call. So please forgive us if the audio isn't as good as it usually is. Also, check out ComboverCode.com. Pomades, beard oil for your hair and your face. Use that discount code CREAMPIE to save yourself some money at ComboverCode.com. Enjoy the episode.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Smoke Pit. I am Mike.
Hey,
oh wow.
What up now?
Okay, I thought I was gonna do it. But so for today's episode we are joined
you were
by,
going to say welcome to the Smoke Pit and
I was just gonna I was told to give the intro to our guest.
Oh, it's okay. I'd like to hear that.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
You guys suck. So today, back by popular demand, we have New York Times, Sunday Times best-selling author, good friend of the show, host of Veteran State of Mind podcast, and international sex symbol, Geraint Jones. What's up, Geraint?
Mate, it wasn't popular demand. I messaged Dan yesterday, said, do you want to do a podcast?
I am going to say people love hearing you come on, so that is popular demand.
No, because I think that you were one of our first guests ever that we had on the show.
I like to think I was. I think it was...
Yeah, believe it or not, every episode this season I have called you a cunt and said that I will continue to do so until you join us again on the show, and now here you are.
Yeah.
Here I am. Here I am in the flesh.
Geraint Jones, the cunt in the flesh.
Yeah.
Last episode, he tried to say cunt 3 times to see if you'd appear in the studio like Beetlejuice.
Oh, no, you got to do it like Candyman. You got to do it in the mirror, but you do have to have your dick in your hand at the time.
So
people forget that.
That's what you have to remind Dan of. That's his constant state.
Funny enough, the Candyman serial killer was a veteran. We did a whole episode on veteran serial killers, and so it's funny that you bring up the Candyman.
Wait, okay. Do you ever, like, while we're on this one, do you ever masturbate looking in the mirror? Because I feel like for a lot of people, masturbation is a shameful thing where they can't bring themselves to look. But sometimes you get that, like, extra, like, you get, like, this, you become, like, this embodiment of sex, and you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, oh, you're a dirty little bastard, aren't you? Or a cunt. and then you look at yourself, and you're like, oh, yeah, you're going to fucking give it to her, aren't you? Or him. Yeah. And then you finish.
I've seen you work out. That's how you work out too.
Well, yeah, but then you just end up looking at yourself in the mirror, just put your dick in your hand. You're like, you look ridiculous.
Yeah, we were in Norway, and you guilted me into going to the hotel gym with you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were both wearing our Pop Smoke tank tops, and you're over there doing curls in the mirror, like, look at you, you dirty little girl. Look at those veins, you slut.
Oh, they've all gone. This fucking current situation. I'm not saying the word. Whoever says a word first, I'll just take a shot. The word. But yeah, this current situation has got me fucked up on the gym. I got home gym stuff here. I can't find it very hard to bring myself to like fucking work out at home when there's alcohol in the house.
Have you found time to crank down in the mirror?
No.
Oh, see? Well, then
So-
all that's lost.
I haven't seen any women. You don't see any women here, do you? You don't see. There's nothing. Excuse me, White Claw.
So where are you right now?
I'm in my friend's apartment in San Clemente. He's in the Philippines.
Did you say
he's deployed. Thank you for his service.
Yes.
And I was like, because people are like, you need to get out the States before it locks down. I'm like, oh yeah, trying. I think
So what you're saying is you're in the States and you didn't come out to the East Coast to visit us. That's all I'm hearing.
I couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Is this Stalin's Russia? You can get on a plane.
He who shall not be named is the fucking he who shall not be named as shutting down airports. Actually, that's not true. I was in Chicago the other day.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm well aware. You on your story, it was just you like driving across the country, just coughing on things.
I wasn't coughing. I was masturbating.
No, you cough
it
and
was just-
masturbate.
It sounded like coughing because I was choking myself. But, no, that was just bad timing, right? So one of my friends, he was in the Marine Corps down in Pendleton, and then he's got a job up in Chicago, and he's got fucking shitload of guns, and he's also what's the correct word these days for somebody that's not white?
Ethnic,
right? And I was like, I don't really like the idea of him driving across America ethnically with a car, with a car full of guns.
Have a lean.
Yeah, with like a car full of guns. I was like, this doesn't strike me as like safe practice.
So he was driving a gold Toyota Avalon.
Yeah. So I was
And
like,
as Childish Gambino said, this is America.
this is America, and not only am I white, but I'm British white. So I'm like the fucking highest kind of like, friend Kevlar you can get. So I was like, I'll come and ride in the passenger seat.
This minority's criminal activities is extended to the UK.
When I wanted to do the drive too, but it felt, like joking aside, I wasn't actually joking. I mean, I was genuinely like concerned for my friend. I was like, I think I'll just go with it. But dude, I got a lot of fucking hate on social media. People like, why are you at your house? One, it was just me and him pretty much in the fucking car with each other in the middle of the Rocky Mountains or in a hotel with each other most of the time, except we were in Vegas, which when we did go out. And I did try and cough all over a bunch of fucking sexy women. But there was...
He was choking
but most of the time, it was the two of us in the car. People were like, I can't believe you're out. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking trapped in a little car on a highway.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, because you're no stranger to pissing Americans off on social media.
Am I not?
Fuck them.
No.
Fuck them.
No, we've had several conversations about that because sometimes, and as everybody is entitled to their beliefs, as the three of us have here, we all have different beliefs and things. And I think it was Tom Jefferson, which I know you don't like that name, said.
Tom?
Yeah.
Are you guys on first name basis?
Yeah.
You guys drinking, buddies?
Yeah. He said, I've never found religion or politics or taste in women to ever be a reason to separate myself from a friend.
Yeah.
And then he referred to Adams as having a hermaphroditical character in a local newspaper.
Yeah, so I think that sometimes people get a little too angry about things, and like you said, receiving hate for just not really doing anything wrong. And sometimes with social media, people get a little too brave and they get a little too mouthy. As where if they were in person, they probably get punched in the mouth for half the shit they say online.
Yeah, they were, dude. Because I was just saying, like, well, what you want him to do? Just like not go to his new job. Like not move, because his mum lives out there too, so he's moved back in with his mum now. So now he's there to kind of help out his mum. It's like, oh, what, you'd rather him just stay on the other coast? So your grandma, who lives on a different continent, is gonna be okay. Fuck off.
Yeah, internet assholes. Think of the mums.
As I was saying the other day as well, right? All these elderly people, they used to fucking smoke around us when we were kids, right? And it's about time that they fucking reap what they sowed.
Yeah, I'm over here just waiting for all the elderly to pass away so I can buy a nice ranch-style house for 27 cents.
Oh, dude, there's going to be a lot of nice ranch houses.
I heard there's a lot of prime real estate in Italy going up for sale.
They're probably because they all live in those shitty little apartments where dude, if I lived in one of those apartments and everyone was coming out on the balcony doing their fucking clapping every evening, I'd lose my fucking shit. Start fucking capping people. Except I wouldn't, because I'm in Italy. I wouldn't be able to have a gun. But at least show my penis.
No, but see, like, imagine you're drunk out of your mind and you just finished choking and masturbating yourself, and right as you climax, there's just a round of applause from the entire community.
I don't know when you come, but that's exactly what I hear.
Actually, when I come last night, when I come last night, the sprinklers outside went on immediately as I come. It was
Providence.
I felt like it was like the Bellagio, like fountains, just giving me like this kind of big like encore as I lay there in my kind of like my that 3 seconds before you go back to cripplingly anxious.
Yeah,
your post-nut clarity.
Yeah.
That 3 seconds where like you don't feel like a terrible human being. I like that.
Yeah, so you got a standing ovation from the Bellagio.
Yeah. Oh,
Man.
fuck. I walked past that Bellagio the other week. Place stinks of shit. Have you ever walked past it?
Yeah. So you served your time in the the British military.
Mike is
And
dying right now.
did you ever think that, when you're in some shithole in Iraq or wherever, just as like, a squatty, low rank, carrying the machine gun, that one day the Bellagio would erupt at the same time you did?
No, I didn't. I mean, like a hose pipe was as much as I could look for those days. Maybe like as I sat on the fucking old threadbare couch on the front of the property.
So, how are your friends back home holding up during all this? We heard that your prime minister tested positive for that shall not be named.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck him. I'm really kept.
I was so happy. I was about to say fuck him, and I don't want to piss him off.
They haven't got any fucking guns. I'm putting all my friend capital right now into people that own guns. Like I know you motherfuckers got a lot of guns. What do you think?
Oh, we all have guns right here.
Fucking, I don't know. I can't even say it.
Exactly.
I just want to say, let me choke you.
Geraint Jones, everyone.
Yeah. AKA, let me choke you.
Yeah.
The fake versions of Sensi only last for about.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Get in the camera.
Oh my god.
AJ just left the show to do something.
Talking from the other room.
So he's your producer, is he?
No.
No, he's the other co-host.
Yeah, he's the other
Oh, he's
co-host.
the co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys are gonna need a wider lens.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're doing this with Zoom, which is the first time we've done that because you're a special guest.
I am a special guest, and also he who shall not be named is going down in the hood.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like you could have made it out here. You could be in the bunker with us, hanging out, broing down.
You do have a lot of guns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have a lot of guns.
But you have
specifically picked out for you that has
Yeah,
Your microphone.
I have a space specifically picked out for
that's
you
a lot better.
that has a fucking like a barf bucket and a cot, so that no matter how fucked up you are, you can still pass out.
There you go.
All right, one, I appreciate that. Two, I don't puke. I'm British, and if I did, I would just lick it back up again because
Okay.
I'm infantry as fuck.
So just to err on the side of caution, we'll go ahead and pick it back up, and because if that other stuff recorded too, then Ali. But if not,
Ali
I don't want to have wasted everyone's time. So
did have a lost footage issue. We had the lost footage issue last time too.
yeah, we recorded 2 episodes, and the audio technician that we had at the time deleted one of them, so we only got 1 episode.
Fucking turd.
It's like if you're like, look, you're an audio technician. One rule: do not delete the audio.
Yeah.
Like
That's the first day of audio technician class.
do not delete the shit you just recorded.
Hello, my name is Professor Video Guy, and lesson 1 of your syllabus: do not delete the episode.
The guy just like dead asleep.
Yeah,
Just passed out in a pile of dirty old wings.
yeah. So, how are you holding it up? We for those of you who aren't familiar with Geraint, he was a squatty out in the British military. Did some tours in the suck. He was an infantryman, slayed bodies, broke hearts, and he's got his own podcast called Veteran State of Mind, and he's a former guest of this show.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty lit off White Claw already today. It's a benefit of drinking on an empty stomach and going to bed drunk. So when you wake up, you only have to top of the level.
Now you have the choice between springtime in Southern California or, gloomy ass Wales.
Actually, the weather back home is really nice right now, but that's a trap. Yeah, because if you get a couple of nice weeks right now this time of the year, that means that it is going to come in it's going to come in on a mega. Excuse me, White Claw. It's going to come in on a mega fucking hard suck pretty soon. No, I am an author, by the way.
Yeah, a best-selling author.
Best-selling.
Yeah. I just like to redefine what it means to be an author as no turtlenecks. That feels a bit too much like getting choked, which I can't be getting work done if I've got an erection all day. So,
I'm pretty sure Hemingway was a drunk too, so I think you're in good company.
I think pretty much he was in the military, wasn't he? And anyone that's in the military is a drunk by default. So
yeah, I'm not sure if what Hemingway did, but I know he was in a plane crash that left him with crippling pain for the remainder of his life. So he was high too, on opioids.
Did he have crippling emotional pain? Because I think that's what makes a good artist in any sense.
I would think so. If you've read some of his later work, it definitely does get a little bit emotional and why am I alive? Kind of.
They have a statue.
Say, bro.
They have a statue of him on his favorite bar stool in a bar in Cuba.
Damn.
Yeah, we did a little trip down to Havana where Old Man in the Sea takes place, and Hemingway spent a lot of time down there. And at first, when I first saw the statue, I didn't even know you yet, but I was like, that looks like Geraint's grandfather.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Maybe he was. I
He's
mean,
had like the same little.
hey, look,
Please
I
kill
didn't
me. Look at his
compare
eyes.
Yeah, I didn't compare myself to Hemingway. You did, but you know what? If you're gonna press,
No one else.
if you're gonna press the point, I'm gonna take it. You know, I think about like Hemingway and stuff sometimes, and I think like, damn, they probably put a lot more effort in than I am, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay
Eat
with
that
it.
burrito. Do it in frame.
Yeah, I've hardly written a fucking thing in the last 3 months, and you know what?
Yeah, the last thing you put out was Brother in Arms, a novella of romance and death.
No, that wasn't the last thing I put out. Last thing I put out was Vinny Vargas, Rocco.
Yeah. The Sugar Man, right?
Yeah, exactly. The Sugar Man together. I think that was the last thing I put out, and then I put out Legion. So I actually put out quite a lot last year. It's just the last 3 months. Coincidentally, I've been in Southern California during those months.
Just being distracted by the women and the partying.
Mate, it's just the sunshine is distracting. Who wants to sit at a desk?
What are you, a golden retriever? Like sitting in the windowsill, like out on the balcony, just like, yes, sunshine.
We've been to Wales. It's much more conducive to writing because I go outside.
I actually do spend like a lot of time on the balcony just staring. So you can see from the balcony here. I don't know if you guys know San Clemente or any of your listeners do, but there's like a not like a cemetery, but like a little kind of memorial by down towards the pier of the the American flags up there and the Marine Corps flag.
Yeah,
and you can see them flying from the balcony here. And sometimes I do just kind of like stare off into nothing at those flags.
Just brooding.
And then in the background, just hear Adagio for strings start to play.
Yeah.
But that's because I put it on my iPod. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you and I have a predilection to sit there looking pensively, and the other take candid photos.
I like a nice pensive look, mate. Now that I'm growing my hair longer, I'm going for more like a more aggressive pensive. I like to think of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like more of the. I want to be like, you ever see that guy Paul Dark? Did you get that show over here?
No, I don't think so.
That motherfucker, right? It's one of those period shows. LOL period. I still can't get past that word. It's one of those period shows where like he's got these. It's like set a couple 100 years ago, and he's got long flowing hair, and his shirt's always undone down to his deliciously toned midriff, and every woman over 25 in the UK wants to bone this guy. And he looks pensive, but he looks like a tiger being pensive. It's like better not fuck with him, or he will like rip you a new asshole.
Okay, and I know we talked a little bit about this offline, but I just wanted to make sure we got this conversation for this episode. In addition to being a combat veteran, a best-selling author, internet personality, sex symbol, you're also a very good DJ who's done shows all over. So how do you compare? How do you find the American girls versus like girls otherwise?
All right. First of all, I'd say my expertise in DJing comes from having friends who are very good DJs, and then I get to play the friend card and go along on tour with them. I've actually had some songs. I've written some songs recently. So, like, I don't know if you guys know Armin van Buren. He's like one of the world's biggest DJs. Just picked a song that we did as like trance track of the week, which is pretty cool because it's like I like that kind of music for like 20 years, and it's been nice to kind of do stuff like that outside of like writing a song is like way more of a direct, like doing a book is a team effort because obviously you've got your editors and everyone involved. But like doing a song is a lot more directly involved with working with other people, and I kind of like that. I think one of the problems with doing writing as a job after the military is that you are pretty like rolling solo, which can lead to you spending a lot of your time getting fucked up and stuff because you're like, oh, I miss the boys. But yeah, so the thing with the girls, right? It depends on the state.
Okay.
It depends on the state of me because, like, if I'm free drinkers, you better fucking watch out. Your pussy is not safe, right? and I mean that in a totally consensual way.
Yeah, I was about to say. We'll edit that later. Yeah.
Free drinkers is confident. It's funny. He's probably hit the gym before he come out. He's probably looking pretty nice.
Got a nice little pump going.
So my friends call me Crash and Burn Jones, right? Because we'll go into a bar. We'll go into a bar. We've had like a drink at home, so that's one drink, guys. We go into a bar, and by the time I've had a couple of drinks, now I'm free drink guest. And that girl behind the bar, she's been roped in by the accent. You know, we're having a good chat. And I'm funny, I'm making her laugh. She's all about it. She's seen the blue check on the gram, sploosh.
Must be fucking nice.
Must be nice.
God.
Then I go 4 drinkers, 5 drinkers, 6 drinkers. And you know those bars that have like free pizza at the bar and stuff? Yeah, I don't know why, but I just have a thing about throwing that pizza at the girl that works behind the bar. It's just something that happens to me every time. And it's like, and then when it comes to leaving the bar at the end of the night, this girl who like couldn't get enough of me, will not speak to me and is telling the bouncer to throw me out of the bar. So
does that usually work in the UK, throwing pizza at the girl?
We don't get free pizza. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with free pizza. There's only so much of it I can eat, and I don't want it to go to waste, so I think I'll throw it at someone.
No, seems like a good use of it.
What would you do? Let me ask you that.
Eat it, bro. Just eat the pizza.
Eat it.
Eat it, you fucking animal.
Right, in my defense, it is quite funny to throw pizza at people.
That's true. That is true. That's just
especially if they're not drunk.
Yeah.
And
it probably hasn't happened to them before.
Yeah.
Well, it happened the last time I came in the bar. But, you know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, so American
Get
girls.
out of here, Garrett. You're still banned.
I like Vegas girls. I like girls in Vegas. I like girls that live and work in Vegas because they're hot. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you're a guy in Vegas, you will get a girl who is like 2 or 3 points above where you are. Just because there's such a concentration of hot girls. There's not like enough fucking rich guys to go around. So sometimes they're going to have to settle. It's one of those. It's one of those few cities where the women are going to have to settle rather than the men.
Okay.
So top tip for anyone out there who wants to punch above their weight: Vegas, but not the Vegas. Well, girls are passing through town too, but like Vegas local.
Oh
girls. California.
You can make that regret that they tell their girlfriends back home about.
Well, yeah, but you won't because their girlfriends are in the same position.
They just won't ever talk about it.
They're settling too. So.
It's how you can take all of their friends with you, you know. So it's just like you go out there, you punch about their weight, then they go back to Boston or Milwaukee or wherever they're from, and they're like, "Let me tell you about this unbelievable cunt that I met."
They're not leaving. They're not leaving because you pull the Sensi cream pie,
and then you throw the pizza at them.
You go out. Well, while they're sleeping, buy up every Plan B in every store within a 10-mile radius. So they cannot fucking get one. And the rest is history. But look, I'll tell you a story. This story will summarize Southern California girls for you. I sublet. So I found like a thing on Craigslist. I can't believe I actually used Craigslist and didn't get raped. I must be one of the few people
lucky
pulled that off.
It's because you raped them, yeah.
And there was this Malibu beach house, right? And there was a room going spare. So I like sublet this room that I could use while I was visiting the States. And I took this girl that I'd kind of been dating while I was doing this. I was pulling the security on the ships, like the private contractor stuff.
Yeah.
So I met her in a bar. Then while I was out there on the ship, she was emailing me saying that she was in love with me and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, oh boy. But I'm also thinking, I am Geraint Jones, so fuck it. Maybe
that's true. I fell in love with you very quickly.
Yeah, maybe it's true. And then we went out for dinner, and she asked me about the beach house, and I was like, oh yeah, I just rent a room here. She went instantly like fucking cold, right? And then that night I texted her like, hey, what was going down earlier? And she's just messaging me going, I don't think we have anything in common, and probably shouldn't talk anymore. I was like, wow. Just from like thinking that I owned that house was, when I was at that level, it was like she was in love with me. And then it was like, oh no, I just rent the Malibu beach house. And then that was just like, well, her vagina like dried up like a prune. And she was like, so to speak, she popped smoke. I never heard from a good guy. But
you've told us before that you feel that like girls in Southern California are maybe not as genuine as others.
Well, dude, they're about as genuine as their fucking nails. Look, man, I'm not saying it, every girl out here. Of course, there are fantastic girls in Southern California. Of course, there is. That being said, there are a lot of girls out here who mind you, I was just about to say that they think that they can just make money through their Instagram and they can sit around doing nothing all day, and then I realized I was describing myself. So,
And they also can. So.
And me.
Yeah, but look, dude, like I've been on some wild dates out here and stuff. I went on a date with a fucking chick once where, let's just say like it started in the San Diego Zoo. It finished a couple of days later, and I was a few grand out of pocket. And then I texted
damn.
Oh yeah, it was fucking fun. I'm going to tell you about it.
God damn. Yeah.
And let's just say there was but let's just say it was the Hilton in San Diego in like the suite at the top of there, looking out over the bay, bum sex, and I'm looking out over San Diego, which is a beautiful city, and I'm thinking like, where does it go from here? You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And then anyway, point being was that like I texted her the next week saying like, let's get together, and she's like, what you got in mind? I'm like, let's go to a hotel and fuck. She's like, I'm not a cheap date. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the
Not a
fuck?
cheap date. You just maxed out my fucking YOLO card. Like, I don't know. I never had those kind of things happen in any other state.
Right.
So I can only think that, you know, I don't know, California's a special place. I think you meet really cool. Like, I love the fact, like, hanging around Pendleton, I've met loads of dudes around here. You know, like, I meet, you know, there's loads of fucking guys in the core. Now, shout out Big Helens, anyone listening to Big Helens. I love going in there. You meet loads of cool people that are serving in the core and stuff. And I have met some nice girls out here. I'm not saying.
Right.
But definitely there is, like, a massive, like, kind of ulterior motive going on in this place.
Yeah, and I remember you telling us one time that it's kind of like when you do finally convince a girl to go to bed with you, that it's kind of like she has a script that she's trying to follow.
Yeah, she's rolling that tape. Like, like it's just there's nothing genuine. There's nothing genuine about it at all. The giveaway is always when they say like, "Oh, it's such a big cock," and you're like,
Yeah.
I have a tape measure. I have a tape measure, and I have Google. I know exactly where I stand on the charts.
Why do you think I work out so much?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Actually, that's the opposite. You should try and be like, you notice how like a lot of these porn stars are like skinny as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, if you're skinny and you like do the side profile, last thing you want to be doing is making your legs and your ass like big, muscular, thrusting machines, because then that's going to like double down like the size of your dick.
Yeah.
If you are emaciated, then your dick will look a lot better from the side profile.
Oh yeah,
So-
for sure.
So top tip for all you aspiring porn stars out there.
Noted.
But no, dude, there's definitely a script that these kind of girls run. It's just there's nothing genuine about it. And I've also found in life, the hotter the chick, the more boring the sex.
Yeah, for sure. No, I've definitely noticed that too. Like, it's almost like they're doing you a favor in the fact that they're sleeping with
Which
you.
they are.
Which they are. No, 1,000%. No, I appreciate the favor, ma'am. But yeah, no, they definitely try less.
Yeah, they can count that as a charitable deduction on their taxes. Yeah. Okay. So so as far as like Vegas and Southern California, you've been all over the country. So how do like East Coast girls and like Midwest girls find you?
East Coast girls are more dirty. By East Coast, we're talking about New York, right?
Sure.
Yeah, because there's a difference between like East Coast New York and East Coast Miami.
East Coast. Oh yeah. Well, East Coast Miami. I kind of like Latinos. They're kind of nice because you don't get them in the UK. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just dragging around my power cord right now.
That's because they told Dan to get out after he got wasted a few times.
And trying to masturbate at the same time.
You're doing well.
Well, I don't
Point
think
the camera down.
I don't see a belt around your neck, so I don't believe that you're masturbating.
So Miami, again, like there's a certain thing in Miami. You've got like that certain kind of like. There's a lot of kind of contract sex involved there, right? It's like what's it called, like transactional sex.
Right.
If you have your rented Ferrari. If you have your rented Ferrari and a nice apartment, you're far more likely to get some top shelf vagina. Like that was a guitar. There we go. I'm literally playing. I'm playing some guitar to make my point here. Okay, give me 1 sec. Plug this motherfucker in. Yeah, New York. I find the girls are a lot more like British girls, so they're not so bothered about. They're not like makeup and trying to be perfect and all that kind of stuff. They tend to be like. Girls that hang out in dive bars, you know what I mean? They're like hanging out in dive bars. They're cool. They're fun. And then, they're a lot more kind of, I don't say necessarily dirty, but like they're kind of like, it's more like honest sex. They know what they want.
Right.
And they're kind of,
they're in sweats, so they're easier to get their clothes off.
No. You're
skinny
jeans and Converse is what I kind of found in
Europe.
Yeah, because with 5 different boroughs, like I was just in Manhattan a few weeks ago, and we were walking through Soho, and we couldn't walk down a single street without like 4 different people being on that street doing like a little Instagram photo shoot where they're in their nice outfit, their very New York chic outfit, and they have their friend like on the floor, like in the prone position, like taking the perfect angle, whether like laughing at some inanimate object or hanging off stairs, or whatever.
That's why to be a boyfriend in this day and age just sucks balls, because you're not a boyfriend, you're a fucking photographer.
Yeah, but see, the thing is like I'm kind of the more sociable one of the group, and so like as like my girlfriend and I are walking down the street, like I'm all giving them props, and I'll address you in a second, and so I'm like, yeah, you're killing it, and they're like, give me thumbs up, or like the dude.
They don't want real time likes. You better go on that page and give them. Like your human experience means nothing to them. They're not interested in that.
If you can't show it off to your friends, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you really cared, you would have asked for their fucking handle and given them a share, you bastard.
No, definitely, because like between these two, like you need to get 4 or 5 drinks in them before they want to talk to anybody.
Yeah,
I feel that there's a reason that I'm a fan of drinking and doing.
Because people are cunts.
No, it's not that people are cunts. It's like a lot of people aren't cunts, but it's just easier not to talk to people, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's easy. It's just easier not to, and just make up a story about them in their head, or in your head.
That's my favorite thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike likes making hypothetical background stories.
Oh, I love it. I will diagnose an entire family the most morbid way possible, sitting at Denny's at 3 a.m. just drunk.
What, they're sitting there? The family's there?
Yeah.
If the family is drunk in Denny's at 3 a.m., it probably is pretty bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not as bad as it is in Mike's head.
So many fucking molestations.
All of them. That's their last name is molestation.
He's from the Midwest. Molestation's the first thing he thinks about when he wakes up.
That's first base.
Actually, I had a question for you, man. Are you familiar with the TV show Parks and Rec?
Of course.
Yeah.
Is that an accurate representation of life in like Indiana?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Really, because I couldn't help like the Paunch Burger stuff. I was like, I think Mike would really like Paunch Burger.
Oh, for sure. I am on a quest for a Paunch Burger, for sure.
Yeah. So you generally have an active lifestyle where you like to be outdoors, you like to be athletic, you like to travel. How has the current situation kind of like impacted you? And as somebody who's extremely suicidal, like on the regular basis, when they're getting all the sunshine and endorphins, now being like cooped up and told you can't fly places, like how you holding up?
I'm not suicidal anymore, dude. I don't know what's happened. I feel like I lost my edge.
Yeah, what the hell? Are you even an author anymore?
Yeah, he sends me a message at like 5 a.m. my time, and he's just like, I think my writing's shit now that I'm not suicidal anymore.
It's true. I do think it's shit. I can still write by numbers, and I can still write like I can still write stuff which is like, say, it's like a thriller. It's going to hit all the beats, and it's going to be like an enjoyable read. But I don't think I'm ever going to write anything anymore that's like like really kind of come down from the deep recesses of the soul. Those kind of places where you haven't been to bed for like 4 days, and you're like, I wish I had a go.
Yeah,
that's where the magic juice is when it comes to writing.
That's the sweet spot.
Just have a woman rip your heart out. That'll get you back there pretty quick.
Nah, I don't want to do that anymore, mate. Because the problem is with that now is I understand like that. I'm like, nah, I kind of like being happy. It's like, being happy is like it's not great for writing, but it's quite good for like not wanting to kill yourself and like just wanting to get out of bed in the morning and all that kind of stuff.
Where's your Welsh pride, sir?
Yeah, but all right. So current situation. Mate, Welsh pride. Nobody else in Wales writes. Come on.
Exactly.
So current situation. I kind of don't like. All right. First things first. I'll caveat this by saying I understand why there are measures being like put in as they do. Right. On a fundamental level, I don't like this idea of going through life afraid. I just don't think it's a healthy way to live your life. I can totally understand why certain, like, because at-risk groups need to be locked away. But to be fair, I would just lock them away the rest of the time too, and just tell them something's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
keep them off
The
road.
elderly, women that you didn't text back.
Just keep them off the road and tell them there's always a fucking killer virus going around.
That's
right.
For everyone.
Yeah.
And we'll probably have less road deaths and stuff. But look, dude, I put like some stats out the other day. It's like 9 million people die a year of starvation. No one gives a fuck about that. 300,000 every year from malaria. No one gives a fuck about that. It's like 1,250,000 or whatever it is, kind of road deaths globally every year. People die. It's what we do. You know, suicides is 920 suicides in the States, I think, every week, which is only going to go up now because of financial difficulty, you know, that kind of thing. People die. Yeah. And I'm not one for going through, like, I'm not being funny. Like, if the odds right now are 1 in 100 people die, I quite like those odds. I'll take those odds. We've all been in situations where we had worse odds of dying. I mean, even I'd say even like when it comes to your own self, you probably had like 50-50 chance of killing yourself and something. But it's like, I'll see how I feel after this next drink.
Yeah.
I think, I just don't like this idea of going through life scared. I think it's, I think as people, one of the things I'm noticing about military guys is because it's not so much what we've been through, but that we've been to shithole countries where people do die quite regularly from.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the average age, I think the average like life expectancy of a guy in Afghanistan is like 45 or something.
Yeah.
You know, something ridiculous like that. And people in the States and the UK now are like, oh, I'm supposed to live to 100. No, cunt, you're not. You're not supposed to. I'm like, that's just the way it is. And people are saying like, oh, well, if it was your grandparents, they'd stay in for you. It's like, well, one, they ain't got a choice about staying in because they're fucking old.
Exactly.
But two, like, no, they fucking wouldn't. These fuckers, when they were young, started world wars. They're not. Stop acting like these are a bunch of responsible. They built nuclear weapons. They're not about health and safety.
Yeah, and you posted something on your social media the other day. It's like you're not really too concerned for the elderly because they used to smoke around us when we were children.
Well, it's not so much I'm not concerned about them, but just pay back as a bitch.
Alley-oop.
Like, look, don't get me wrong, like, dude. I think it's fucking tragic, right? And before somebody starts fucking atting me, we deal with like,
we have a strict no at policy in the smoke pit.
But we deal with hard situations through humor. And I think one of the things like a lot of people lose in this is their sense of humor. So find it. And because look, there's going to be the flu every year. It's not like, I understand the flu isn't as deadly as this, but the flu is still around every year. So what are we going to do? Like, are we going to, like, if you follow this kind of policy to its like...
there's a vaccine for the flu that people encourage you to take.
Yeah, well, fucking pussies. So, right, one, like, Bill Burr has a sketch about this, so I'm not going to try and outdo Bill Burr, even though I could. It's, basically, like, we're the only species that protects its weak. Yeah, something to be said for that. But also, like, if we take this policy, like, joking aside, if we take this policy to, like, its kind of, like, conclusion, are we all going to stop driving our cars? Because, like, in 2017 in Texas, 37,000 people died on the roads in Texas. 37,000 people just in Texas died in traffic accidents in 2017. So should we all?
I get that. Yeah.
So should we all
gun control?
Yeah. So should we all stop driving? Like, what we?
I know a few of us should stop driving.
I like that a lot of people stop driving because traffic's way easier for me.
Yeah, but what are we trying to do here though? Are we trying to, because if the goal is to have a planet where nobody like dies as long as possible, then there's a lot of stuff that we should just stop doing right now. Like, my Taco Bell's got to go. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
How dare you? God.
Mike just finished eating a Taco Bell burrito.
I just ate a burrito in front of your face.
Sorry, it gave me fucking. I got eye cancer just looking at it.
No, you're absolutely right, because like we just in the U.S. announced a $2 trillion stimulus package, and I know it's not apples to apples; it's a bit apples to cream pies. But so we have spent around $2.4 trillion on the war of terror. But yet we just had to spend a $2 trillion+ on Corona stimulus
Oh,
package.
you say that you take the shot.
Yeah.
You take the shot.
I'll get to it later. I had to make a
Yeah.
point.
Exactly. I'll do a shot for him. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but we just spent and I know it's like I said, not apples to apples, but we just had to take $2 trillion because like we're over here like, hey, can we fix our healthcare? Can we fix our education? And they're like, nah, we don't got the funds. Then some dude eats a bat, and the government's like, oh yeah, we got this $2 trillion we forgot about. And so like we have spent trillions of dollars now trying to combat this virus as much as we spent on the entire war on terror over 8 odd years.
One, combat. That was a nice little pun you did there.
Yeah.
And then also, like, look, here's the thing about the stimulus. They're like, oh, here's $1,200 back out of the 50 grand you paid us in taxes. It's like, how about you don't take that fucking money off me in the first place, motherfucker? Because like a lot of this stimulus stuff, it's like, look, if you motherfuckers, I mean, actually, I was going to lie. I was going to say I'd have a bunch more money in the bank. I would have spent it on stupid shit.
Yeah, sure.
But like this
$4,000 dates with girls who don't want to sleep with you.
Yeah, but they did at the time. Just like, but like this idea that you've got to give, like it's like, oh, don't worry, the benevolent government's going to look after you and give you this $1,200. I don't even get you a fucking dinner at Nobu, motherfuckers. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's like, so they're giving you that, but it's like, yeah, but because I happened to get my tax bill from the UK the other day, and did I weep? I wept. So hard. And you know what I did? I don't know if anyone's ever tried this before, but I was in Vegas when I got it, and I thought, I'll just go and win it. Didn't work out.
That's why you can't come see us.
No one's ever thought of that idea before.
I thought that was a lock. But that didn't work out. But yeah, the cheeky motherfuckers are like, right, I'll have 40% of your fucking income, cunts. And then they're like, oh, here's 20 pence back. There's a good boy. And then be grateful for that. It's like, you just took half of my income off me, you cunts.
Yeah, and AJ brought up a good point earlier where he said that there are certain people who don't qualify for that. And one of them is if you have back child support. So that's just more incentive for guys just to hit it and quit it and not like take care of their children.
Dude, I'm very much on the Chappelle thing with this one, where it's like, if women should have the right to choose if they keep a kid or not, and a guy should have the right to choose if he fucking has anything to do with that kid or pays any money towards that kid. I'd like to think that most men will choose to have something to do with that kid. But if she is on the large side, you might not want to have her in your life. And the kid, he can come and find you when he's 18. Look.
Well, I mean, at least he'll be well fed.
Yeah.
But speaking for myself, I wouldn't have wanted to be, if I was my dad, I wouldn't have wanted to be around me until I was probably 33. So
33 is that ripe age. Yeah.
Well, 33,
age.
You have by that age, you have like a good kind of understanding of sports. You've got down to you can really break down a play when you're watching the sports together and things. You can really have a deeper understanding of things.
Yeah.
And you're more at the comfortable age where you can tell some boning stories. You, not him. And all that kind of stuff.
I have a question for you there, real quick.
Shoot.
How do you feel about Liverpool getting canceled right before they won the championship?
I don't care about soccer, mate. You've got to you're talking the wrong person here.
I can't talk to these two dinguses because this one calls it football.
Right. One, it's soccer. Two,
I don't even dignify it with a name.
Can you say gay? I'm saying gay because gay is the best way. Gay is the best way to summarize soccer.
Well, I mean, at least 2 people on this call right now are gay, and so we can't discriminate. So
if I wanted to watch a bunch of Europeans kick a ball around, I'd just go to a brothel.
Look, again, football is concussions, right? I want to see at least one person a game carried off on a spinal board. As people clap him like it's going to bring him back to life.
And he's got his little thumbs up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, great. Like, especially in college football, because you're like, oh, he's never going to make any money now either. At least
he just lost his scholarship.
At least the other guys made some money. Back to Compton you go.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, damn.
Hey, fucking NCAA is fucking slavery.
That's true. I agree.
NCAA sports is fucking slavery. I still watch it.
For sure,
yeah, the fact that they just did something that said that sports players can make some money off of video games now. Was that?
Yeah, they're talking about
how kind of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're gonna we're gonna use your image, and we're gonna give you 0.3% of the revenue. Oh wow, how fucking generous! Bunch
Yeah.
of kids.
Yeah, because like some people make the argument. It's like, well, a lot of them are on scholarship, but not all of them are on scholarship.
Well, yeah, because and also the scholarships. It's like you have a scholarship in White Claw Studies, which involves and like so I've got some friends who've been like Division I athletes and stuff, and they told me it's like you fucking go to class. They'll put you in these classes where it's like they'll bring in the geeks. The geeks will do your work for you basically, and you're a professional football player. In most of these places. Now, are there some people who, because what the counter argument would be, oh, well, the counter argument's like, well, they get a chance to do it. Yeah, that's fucking, you're talking about an 18-year-old kid who's never had structure. He's going to go with what he's told. So if the school is pushing him into doing 99% of his time doing football, that's what, he's not going to go, hold up, Coach Saban. I'd like to come to practice this afternoon, but I really feel like I should work on my dissertation. He's going to be oh, really? Yeah. Out of the team, no fucking NFL for you.
Yep.
So, like, I get where people are coming from that, but they need to
correct themselves.
There you go. Right.
What is going on? I will say, Geraint, I was listening to Veteran State of Mind before. I've 1 or 2 episodes. It's okay. But I was listening, and I've heard you correct yourself a few times. I'm just saying. So.
I do. Shout out my boys.
And I appreciate it, but I'm waiting for that stimulus check to come our way. That's fine, though.
No, I'll give you some kind of stimulus, but it will not be
it
will not be a check, sir.
It will be in the back, pussy.
That's right.
On the OnlyFans site. What did we talk about? We're not calling it that. That's gross.
Yeah. Okay. OnlyFans, right? OnlyFans. Like we were. I think just before we realized we weren't recording earlier, we were talking about OnlyFans, right? Because so for those of you listening who do not know this current situation, Mike Sensi is the most handsomest man until he grew his disgusting Midwest beard. Now he looks like a short Andrew Luck.
I would be honored to be that caveman.
Yeah. There's a guy. He went to Stanford, right? I think.
Yeah.
He goes to, so there's a guy who probably did go to class, but he's probably so smart that he just, could do the bare minimum and still go to Stanford. Anyway, point being.
Yeah.
That people use your photos on a very regular basis to scam lonely middle-aged women and I'm assuming men.
Men too, yes.
Okay, good, because like that.
That's actually how we met. I was being catfished, and when I actually found the real Mike's profile, I was just like, I guess he's kind of funny, and I need a co-host.
Yeah.
And he sat outside of his door for weeks.
I know that's bullshit because I know Mike just stone cold shuts down anyone who tries to then pick up a conversation with him. But it's weird because I've had this too, and they'll basically be like, it's almost like you owe them something. And the other one is like, they're like, oh, I thought I'd tell you about this so you could like stop them doing it. Yes, that's right. I'll stop every catfish on the internet.
Right.
Like, how stupid are you? Anyway, please borrow my books.
No, I don't know how much we got, and we're probably not going to use any of that footage, but we were talking about this before we started recording, and it's like, at first, I don't know how it was for you when it first started happening to you, but at first you feel really bad. You're like, how can I help? I want to stalk this person down with you and bring them to justice. By the 2000th time it happened, it's like, you're a dumb idiot. Like, you deserve to die alone. Like, you just don't care anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I might as well like, how can I help relieve you of your money? Because I'm thinking like, I really kind of think like, I'm like, right, well, hang on, let me get this straight. So this guy, probably in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's usually Nigeria. Yeah.
Who was terrible English, right? Which you fell for the terrible English.
Mm-hmm.
You fell for that. Sent him money. Now you found the real me, and you want me, the real me, for free.
Yeah.
This is not America. That does not work in America. This is capitalism. If you paid for the fucking like the D- standard, if you paid 400, if you sent in 400 a month for that. And now you found the blue check, then I want at least double what he was getting.
First off, Geraint, not all of us have the blue check, so quit hovering that, all right?
I know.
Second, I would love it because these scams I feel would help, but it's whatever.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help. It doesn't help at all because they're like stupid people are not going to be helped by a blue check. Right?
That's a really good. That should be the name of your next book, by the way. But go ahead.
Right. anyone out there that's listening, if you think you're talking to someone and you have a slight bit of suspicion, or even if you don't have any suspicion, just reverse Google image search someone's pictures. I could save yourself a lot of money, which you can then send to me and Mike, and we will.
Thank you. Yes.
I will say I'll send pictures of my penis for free. I'll definitely send them for some fucking money.
No, that's kind of like akin to when, like, a girl is loose with her morals and she's just giving up booty to everybody. And then, like, when you finally get your turn at bat, she's just like, no, like, I want to take this a little bit more serious. And she's like, I don't really do that. I'm like, my boys recommended you.
Yeah.
Like, find the nearest window, yeet.
Yeah, there's been more than one occasion where after Mike's been done with a girl, he was just like, yo, like, she's pretty good. Like, you should give it a run. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I take her out to a nice date.
Right there is your mistake.
Yeah.
You take her out and give her any attention.
Make her some homemade lasagna.
Yes, I'm telling you.
No.
And then they're like, no, like I'm ready for like a real relationship. I just want to take things slower. And I'm just like, really? Because you were giving out to free to Mike. Now you expect me to pay?
Because Mike's date, she turned up, he spat in her face, and then fucking choke slammed her. And then
Exactly. We talked about this in one episode. The lasagna thing was a true story.
Yeah.
But
what? So yeah, there's an episode.
No way! I thought you were just. I was like, he's gone for the most extreme version of being like a nice guy possible.
Well, let's give Geraint that story.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll do it. Okay, so we
both
quick recap because apparently AJ didn't hear the episode either, but it's fine. So we were both talking to the same girl and
like we knew we were both talking to her, but like it was just going to be like a one-off thing, And so it was like I kind of have a philosophy that like if I can't get with a girl and I know that she's more compatible with one of my buddies, like I don't get my pride hurt. I'm just going to throw the alley-oop up and hope.
And then ask to see some nudes.
Yeah, exactly.
that's a very pragmatic way of doing it. At least you still get to see the nudies.
Yeah.
And then hope they don't steal shit out of your house later.
I told you to fuck her. I didn't tell you to fall in love with her. There's a difference.
That's true.
All right. So this girl that we're talking about.
He's flipping me off very close to my face.
So we both kind of know we're talking, like, just like Dan said, our feelings aren't wrapped into this, but we both kind of know about it. And so then randomly one day, I'll tell my side and tell yours because it's all intertwined. It's so random. She hits me up on Snapchat, the skeeziest of the apps. And she goes, she's like, oh, I got off work early. What are you doing? And I was already home, pissed drunk watching anime or whatever I'm doing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just whatever. And she's like, oh, do you want to go get dinner? I was like, well, I already ate. And she goes, well, I'm hungry. I was like, okay, good luck with that. Like, bye. Like, I don't know what you want from me. And then she's like, well, I can come over. And I was like, okay. So she comes over and I'm like drunk and kind of in my feels. So I'm like just being rude to her. I'm like, you want anything? What do you want? And she's like, I've just been hankering for a lasagna lately. I hadn't eaten all day. I really want lasagna. So I was like, okay. She's like, you want to cook lasagna? I was like, no, I don't cook for myself. So I DoorDash lasagna from this local pizza joint. It's so greasy and disgusting. I like throw it to her on her lap. Like, here you go. And
it just burns her. Yeah. Like, burns all in inside of her body.
So she scarfs down like all 40,000 calories of this disgusting grease trap. And then so she's sitting there and I'm like, again, just drinking, watching TV, paying her no mind. She's like, oh, you're really hot. I know what that means. It's like, all right. So we do the deed. Like, I feel nothing about this whole night. Like, I put no effort.
Like, you're really hot. You just look at the TV, you just take your dick out.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
not even looking. It's like, here, woman.
I was barely conscious or awake for anything, but
enough to take your dick out, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's gonna flop out anyway.
Yeah, how could Mike give consent if he was drunk?
It's true. That's true. No, it's all consensual. So we do the deed. It's whatever.
I would say buying the lasagna is proof of consent.
Yeah. So yeah, we do the deed. It's fine. It's whatever. She goes for the one-arm cuddle. I was like, that's weird. I thought I heard your Uber. So I'm just like the biggest pig. Like, it's like one of those like fuck off kind of nights. So she leaves or whatever, and it was fine. She even texted me. She's like, had a great time, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool. And then
that's where Dan enters the story.
Enter Dan. Dan, I'm going to let you take it.
So, like I said, the two of us have been kind of casually chatting with this girl and just kind of like, all right, like it's like a baton race, like whoever crosses the finish line is who crosses the finish line. The team still gets a win, right?
Yeah.
And so she's like, hey, like I've really been wanting some lasagna, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, do you mean like at an Italian restaurant or like homemade? And she's like, well, I was thinking like frozen, but homemade would be so much better. And I was like, all right, bet. Come over. and we can make some homemade lasagna. And she's like, all right, cool. And then like an hour later, she was like, oh, hey, like my friend got evicted. Like all of a sudden I had to help her move and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Mike's got the biggest fucking smile on his
The
face.
story's so crazy.
And then then the next day she's like, yeah, like I really want that lasagna. I was like, all right, well, you can come over today.
Wait, were you guys fucking Garfield?
That's what I'm saying. That is the
Yeah.
joke. Her nickname is Garfield.
Yeah, because that's actually one of the first things that Mike said to me, but I don't want to, I'll set that up later.
Yeah.
And so she comes over, we go to the grocery store, and we buy like all these like fresh organic ingredients. We go back to the house, we Google the best recipe. Like we're drinking wine, we're cooking, we're laughing, we're having a great time. We're talking about everything under the stars. And she's like, you know, you're so much different than all these other guys. And like, I could really like, I just really feel like it's opened my eyes, and I'm thinking I want something a little bit more serious, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. She stays the night. And then the next day I send him a text message, something to the effect of like, man, that girl's bra is like the MVP. Because it was like one of those water bras that like, it looks like she's got a big rack, but then when like you take it off, it's just like, all right.
Wop, wop, wop,
And yet when we stuff our crotch, we're the weirdo.
And so he like,
I'm just gonna let that one sit there.
and so it basically came to the effect. He was just like, yeah, she was over here like day before last or whatever. And I was like, wait a second, you mean like Tuesday or whatever it was? He was like, yeah. And I was like, this bitch. And I wasn't even mad about it, but I was just like, yo, like she said that at this time she had to go help her friend who's getting evicted. And he was like, no, she most definitely was over here drinking up all my fucking alcohol for free.
So wait, she got 2 lasagnas.
Yes.
Yeah, she was evicting some sperm out your fucking penis.
Yeah.
She got 2 lasagnas and at least a good 3 minutes of terrible sex.
That's
I
correct.
think she
Right.
played both of you very excellently.
Yeah.
Dan, your first mistake, sir. Your first mistake was buying organic. Like once
Not
you
spitting
buy
in her face.
once you buy a chick organic food, that's it. She's looking at you in your husband material. Like
No. It gets better
Like-
though. The story continues. There are more layers.
Christ. Oh
So
my God.
she like,
I
she's like,
that
all
was
right, well,
nice pun by the way.
5-layer lasagna. And so she goes out to her car and she comes back up and she's mad. Somebody smashed out her window and like stole stuff from her car. So, and she's like really freaking out because she, she's like an E2 in the Navy, didn't have a lot of money, and she was going to spend the money she did have on her plane ticket home before she deployed.
And more lasagna.
And more lasagna.
Do
And-
not tell me you bought this bitch a fucking plane ticket.
No. I replaced her window.
All right, well,
I took her.
that's-
You
if
think
anything,
we're
that's-
cracking your care for dramatic effect? We're not even posting the video. Like,
if anything, that's worse because at least with the fucking plane ticket, it's like getting an Uber, getting the fuck out.
well, so I take her to a repair shop. We get her window replaced. And then this is after she leaves. This is like, I sent him a picture of her window, and that's how we kind of like connected the dots. And so like, I'm not mad about it or whatever, because obviously neither one of us were in our feelings about it. But Mike was just like, you have to ask her whose lasagna was best.
I'd be mad about it.
Yeah.
Oh, for show.
Yeah. So, and like at first I was like, nah, that's petty. That's vindictive. I'm just gonna, and I was like, all right, I'm doing it.
Do you know, like, I've got one takeaway from this story, and as I really want a fucking lasagna now.
That's
Wait,
true.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
Which one of you? I want to know which one of you is better because I am busting for a fucking lasagna now.
So I sent her that message, and I was just like, hey, she sent me a message. She's like, hey, can I come over and have more leftovers? And that's when Mike was like, who's this bitch, Garfield?
Yeah.
Like, how much lasagna she's trying to consume in a day? And so like I sent her a message. I was like, hey, whose lasagna was better, mine or Mike's? And she was like, oh, ours was so much better. And then it was just like a pause, and then it was like ... stop.
Oh no. ...
stop. I'm so sorry.
She wasn't sorry.
Yeah.
She probably went on a fucking she probably got a fucking lasagna to some motherfucker's house later that night too.
Yeah, she's like, new number, who's this? And it was
Did-
typos because of lasagna grease on her fingers.
what I'd be interested to know, did her vagina look like a smashed lasagna?
It was not one of the better Tuesdays I've ever had.
Yeah. So it was like her vagina was like all kind of like mincy and like different flaps everywhere. You couldn't figure out which layer was which.
It was like It was more of an Arby's situation, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
I'm thinking Arby's.
and I mean,
I'm so hungry.
and to stick up for some of our female listeners out there, like lip size isn't indicative of how much they've been fucked.
No,
it's genetic. So like I guarantee your penis looks like a question mark, and girls doesn't say that that's because you fuck a lot.
it's because they call him the Riddler.
That's the steroids.
No, it's because you should really question whether or not you want to put it inside you. But,
Yeah,
dude,
so-
like, no.
and I told her, I was like, I wasn't even I'm not mad that you hooked up with Mike. I'm mad that you lied to me about it.
yeah.
Like if you had just told me like, hey, I'm gonna hook up with Mike, like that wouldn't have changed anything. Like I still would have invited you over later.
Yeah, how
Well,
about the
look,
terrible
here-
sex you want, but like tell me about it.
Here's the other thing. You guys could have fucked it together and just saved money and just got one lasagna.
Right?
To be fair, I didn't want any lasagna. I didn't want any of this.
No, Mike, you are the instigator. I know lasagna is way too healthy for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's like a perfect indicator. Like there will be girls who are out there and they're just like, she just got treated like hot garbage by Mike. And then like when I was like legitimately making an effort, it's not like I cared about her, but I still wanted to give her that decent respect of like, hey, thanks, I appreciate,
Not like I missed. I didn't throw her head through a wall. I didn't want to make lasagna.
I mean, if you had thrown her head through a wall, she wouldn't even have texted me back.
It's true.
You
Threw her head through the wall. You guys would be married by now.
yeah. If you treat them like mud, they stick like glue.
Yeah. It's just a perfect indication. So like young kings out there, if she's not texting you back, it's not because she's busy. It's because she's with Mike.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Eating a fucking greasy lasagna. No, well, she's with a Mike somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, look.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Here's a funny one, right? Here's a funny one with chicks as well. It's like they must have a very low opinion of guys, and I suppose we do it too the other way because it's like every evening text. Then there's like one evening with no text back, and it's like, all right, so I guess you're seeing somebody else.
Yeah.
Nope, just wasn't on my phone last night. It's like you live and breathe your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if you want to see other people, that's cool. Let's just kind of what you're saying. But look, guys do it too. I think we all just need to be a lot more honest and open, man. Just tell people if you want to go get your lasagna around somebody else's house, go get that lasagna. If you want to get your lasagna punched in, go and get that lasagna punched in. But just be honest about it. Just be like, hey, Dan. Like before you go spending all your fucking money and getting those Ralph's Rewards fucking points on your organic stuff, just know that I am a fucking super hoe and that I've already taken one lasagna this week. And, just be honest about it. People are a lot more honest. Like that's what kind of fucking pisses me off about this whole fucking. I can say Corona now because you already said. People are like, oh, make sure you wash your hands. Make sure you wash your hands. It's like, I know for a fact you haven't worn a condom in 10 years, you fucking slag.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
so like, don't be now complaining about me washing my hands when I know that you are fucking constantly having unprotected sex. Or like, oh, hand sanitizer. It's like, you licked my bum hole. Like, everyone getting mad about, the Chinese are disgusting. They ate a bat. It's like, you literally licked the shit out of someone's asshole. So do not be looking down on that poor Chinese man who was just trying to get a fucking meal.
Well, I think that's a great point to end this episode on.
Yeah, I need to go jerk off after that.
Geraint, where can people find you? You want to plug your social media, your books, your podcasts?
Well, by the looks of it, I'm going to be on this fucking couch for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
So if you're in San Clemente and you'd like a lasagna, then hit us up for the address. At GRJ Books, Golf Romeo Juliet Books, one word, at Veteran State of Mind. Got an episode coming out on Monday with our friend Will Pounder, who put us in touch with. He's an interesting cat, he is. There's really, really good episode. And at GRJ Books, at Veteran State of Mind, at vsonpodcast.com. And if you want to buy any of my books and keep me in the manner to which I've become accustomed, then you could go to Amazon and just search for Geraint Jones. But Dan told me that he was going to put links to all those things in the show.
Oh, wow.
I most certainly did not say that, but I can do that.
You did now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that way you can continue to rent mansions and Ferraris in Miami, so females can refer to your penis as delicioso.
I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to cutting that snippet of this recording out and just playing that on loop.
That'll be your ringtone.
Can I repost this? Are we going to repost this on mine too?
Yeah, sure. We'll send you the audio.
If we are, then you, even though like your listeners know where to find you, then like let's have you tell everyone where to find you.
At the Smoke Pit Podcast on Apple Podcast app, Spotify, YouTube, and various other platforms. The Smoke Pit Podcast on Instagram and Facebook.
You've got a great radio voice now.
Thank you.
He's got a face built for radio.
That's right.
Ah, see, I didn't say that. I said voice. You know, you have. That was very professional sounding.
No, see, I'm just going to take all the mean things that AJ says to me and put them into like a compilation. So he's just like, I don't know why you guys are mean to me. I never say anything back. I'm just going to play that 10-hour loop.
Look, now that I'm a co-host, I'm trying to get in the spirit of things and just crap on you guys all the time, which is what I thought this show was supposed to be.
Sometimes you have to pay extra for that, so I appreciate
it. You kind of like tier 2 co-host though, because it's like I can't even see like if it like it kind of just comes in as like a goes. Oh, there you go. There you go. It's the like that creepy little lean in.
Yeah, we're not going to post the video just because your nipple kept slipping out, and I don't want to have to edit all that.
We don't want to take away money from your OnlyFans, so we're not going to show the people that for free.
Did my nipple keep slipping out?
It really did.
Well, that's not why we're not doing the video.
Yeah, like you would like brush your hair back and conveniently pause while you flex your bicep.
Yeah,
I noticed.
You're such a.
I'm not fucking. That's just what I'm like. Just what I'm like. I'm like, dude. You know what? How much weight have you guys put on so far during the quarantine?
I've lost about 6 pounds.
My jeans still fit, so I don't think I've gained or lost any weight.
I've lost muscle mass for sure.
Dude, I've lost weight from driving.
That's the most depressing thing is seeing the ratio, like the waist to arm ratio changing.
Oh yeah,
it's like the arms have been going steadily down.
Yeah,
and the waist is going like I'm the same weight, but the ratio, the ratio is just depressing. I mean, who knew the White Claw, just drinking White Claw all day was not like you need.
No, because like I've been out with both Mike and Geraint at various clubs all over the country. Like, you know, in our case, see, there it is again, all over the world. And both of you have this.
That's not a flex. That's a flex.
Both of you have that like that little peacock pose that you like to do when you know girls are looking.
What's my pose?
The way you stand every moment of every day.
And like I'm not hating on you. Like obviously, if I ate less Taco Bell and spent more time working out, I'd do it too.
You're saying I'm flexing just because I'm like moving my hand to a position where it makes my arm bend. That's not flexing. That's not flexing. It's just touching myself. Wait.
No. We were talking about how you do flex while you are touching yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we lost that bit, did we? That's the best.
Yeah, that was in our pre-podcast warm-up conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's probably for the best. But that is something that is something that I want you guys to think of next time you do it.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and stay safe out there.
Well, thank you for your service. I appreciate it. And God bless all of us, everyone. Until tomorrow. That's such a horrible saying. Right. Cheers, guys. Thanks. Love you,
cheers. If you have a batshit crazy story that you want us to read on the show, shoot us an email at info@popsmokemedia.com. Also, check out our social media. You can shoot us DMs there. Stay up to date on all the latest Smoke Pit news. Also, check out our merchandise at popsmokemedia.com. Give this podcast 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. And share it with your friends.